Are you someone who struggles with overthinking and having unhelpful, distracting thoughts floating in your mind? If so, this video is for you. Okay, so let's talk about overthinking. Overthinking is something that I struggled with for so long. Gosh, I remember the times when there would be a thought, something that I either would be worried about in terms of the future, or maybe a memory about the past, something that I did, something that I said, and it would just get stuck in my mind. I would just keep thinking about it over and over again. Sometimes I'd wake up at night and it would just come back to me, and I couldn't do anything about it. I literally felt like it was stuck. And all the advice that I heard before about, something along the lines of, well, just look at this thought, and if this is something you can do something about, just go and do it. And if it's not, just accept it for what it is and move on. And cognitively, I could understand it. However, I couldn't get rid of this thought. It just would get stuck. So if that is something that you can resonate with, and it's something that happened to you in your life, you know how frustrating and exhausting this experience is. And I look forward to sharing what has worked and has helped me. In terms of overthinking, typically we either would be ruminating, meaning that we are thinking about something that has happened in the past and we're thinking about it over and over again. Typically, this will be an experience where we've done something, or maybe we've said something and we didn't like it, and we're thinking about what we should have done instead. Or we may have an incessant worry feeling about the future. There is something that's going to happen in our life. It makes us uncertain, a little bit anxious, and we keep thinking about this future. And neither of these are productive. It's not like we're building plans for the future or thinking about practical steps of what we're going to do. Typically, this is going to be impractical worries and anxieties about the future. A phrase that I heard from Eckhart Tolle, whose books and work I absolutely love, was he said this phrase that the problem only exists in the mind. Everything else is challenges, and you either do something about them or you accept them. And again, going back to what I said at the beginning, it's a really wise and profound statement. Yet, in terms of how do you actually practically apply this in the moment, is something that I have found difficult to do purely on a cognitive level. So for me, here are the key things that have really helped me. Number one is to drop into your body. What I mean by that is, when we're overthinking, we're literally spending all of our time in our head. So what we want to do is try and shift our attention from our mind into our body. What has worked for me, and it's maybe a little bit out there, but if you find yourself stuck in that sort of overthinking loop, go and take a cold shower. I'm not joking, but a cold shower, or better, even an ice bath. But I mean, ice bath, not everybody will have one available anytime, any moment. But cold shower is something that we can find pretty easily, right? So cold shower is something that is going to wake up your senses, immediately move you from your head to your body. When you're cold, you're not thinking about anything else. You get so uncomfortable that you're not thinking about those thoughts at all. Cold exposure has also the benefits of then putting your body through initially a stress cycle, but then releasing a whole bunch of hormones that then help us feel happier. So happier is probably not the right and not the most scientific description of our state, but on a chemical level, it shifts our state. So taking a cold shower is something that has helped me so much, and it is such an easy and immediate intervention that if you feel stuck with those thoughts, go and try that. And I don't want to say I guarantee you, because this has been my personal experience, but I am pretty confident that it is going to really help you get rid of this overthinking. Let's recap. So far, we have covered 3 core techniques that help you shift your overthinking mind through your body into the present moment. And that was cold shower, challenging physical exercise, and breath work. Now, I do also have a couple of mental practices that I have found extremely helpful. I do want to say that I have found personally that doing the mental practices was more helpful after I have done the physical practices, which have helped to reduce the intensity and the overwhelm of those thoughts. And the first one is to welcome the intrusive and the overthinking thoughts and literally have a conversation with them. There's this saying that whatever you resist persists, and this is exactly what I have found with overthinking. When I used to have thoughts stuck in my mind, if I tried to resist them, they would just keep coming back. It was so frustrating. So instead, what I would try to do is actually welcome them and literally ask them, what are you trying to highlight? What are you trying to protect me from? What are you trying to help me with? And sometimes I would even visualize intensifying those thoughts and thinking about, where can I feel you in my body? What if I put really a lot of focus and energy into it? What if I try to grow it? What are you trying to say to me? And typically, by allowing them and having space and giving them space to exist, what I would find is they would increase, and then suddenly I'll feel like they're disappearing, they're reducing, they're not there anymore. They're not really taking this huge hold of me. What that would also mean is that then the next step could be to then practically think about the situation. And then this is where I could take that advice on around, okay, let's practically think about it. This is what I'm concerned about. This is what's worrying me about the situation. Is there anything I can do about it? Yes or no? If yes, what are my steps? What are my actions? When am I going to do it? What scares me about it? What worries me about it? Because again, if this was an easy thing, I wouldn't have had intrusive thoughts about it. I wouldn't be ruminating about the situation that happened. If I find that, okay, I don't think there's anything I can do about this, I'm ruminating about something that has happened, there's nothing I can do about it anymore, then I would really focus on more compassion, on really talking to myself in a kind and friendly tone, saying thank you to myself, but also to my intrusive thoughts. I want to say thank you to overthinking, because the more I try to highlight that I know that this all comes from mechanisms that are trying to protect me, even though this is probably not adaptive right now and it's not helping me. But as long as I stop being mean to myself, I really am able to move through these so much quicker and don't get stuck in them too much. I hope this has been helpful for you. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've got any questions, thoughts, or feedback, please pop it down in the comments below. And if you enjoy watching my content, I would love for you to subscribe and to like this video. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next time.